Have you ever needed a smile to get through the day? Have you ever needed to feel a part of something? Have you ever been going through something or had a lot on your mind? You ever just needed that one thing to get you through the day? Well, welcome. This is the temporary fix. Super. We got, it's family right here. We got a super guest. Big bro. He enjoyed one of the greatest defensive careers in Bryant history, graduating in 2017 as the program's all-time leading tackler with 256. He played 43 of possible 44 games, nuts. During his career, finishing with 6.5 sacks, 29 tackles for a loss, and 4 forced fumbles. That's nuts. He returns to Smithfield after spending 2018 season as defensive assistant at Rutgers. 2017, Watson coached the running backs and served as a video coordinator at Amherst. And he also earned his bachelor's degree in communication from Bryant. Ladies and gentlemen, shout out to my brother and big dog, Marquise Watson. Man. Shout out to my boy, my guy.
Thank you.
Yo, man, we're very happy coming on the show. I know you're busy. I know it's a lot going on out there. So we really appreciate you, man. But
hey, I'm happy to be here, fellas. This is something positive that we need with everything going on in the world. And everybody that's supporting y'all, no matter if y'all got 3 followers or 1 million followers, this is the start of something special. And Temporary Fix will be something special. I'm happy to be here.
That's love, man. Sure. Love, I appreciate it, and that means a lot coming from you, man. But boys, how we feeling, man? What's going on? Like you said, it's a crazy time in the world. How everyone feeling, man? What's going on?
Hey, man. It's hot as hell outside, but besides that, life is good. I can't complain. Life is beautiful, brother.
Y'all want to talk about hot. Mississippi you can look out there right now. It's hot as hell, but life is good, man, and I'm blessed. I'm really blessed.
Hey, man, that's good, bro. That's good. Always to see the brothers feeling good. That's what it is. Clean skin, good energy. That's all it is, baby.
Sure.
That's all it is, man. But what's the name? The streets need it. We got to do it every once a week. It's the model of the week, Tom, bro. Hey, who we kicking it off, man?
All right, so I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but I'm gonna give it a try. Mm-hmm. But her name is Whitney Mahawa. She's a baller from Los Angeles, Instagram model. I'm not gonna sit here and say she give me a bucket, but she's definitely good at what she does. Yeah, man, and she's bad as fuck. I don't know what else. There's no other way of putting it.
Valid, bro. Keys, who you got, brother?
I am on IG for one reason only, and that's to recruit. But at some point you gotta go look, and you gotta peek. But gotta give a big shout out to Light Skin Keisha. She's a rapper from Atlanta, really doing her thing. That is her name, one word, Light Skin Keisha. So that is definitely mine for the week.
That's tough. Yeah, that's valid. Word on the street is natural too. That's valid. That's valid, brother. That's valid, brother. Hey, man, I'm going simple. Y'all might call me, whatever. I'm going Janae, bro. She dropped some heat. She dropped some heat, I think, just yesterday.
That's fair. Can't go wrong with that.
And boy, oh boy, man, made me smile. I woke up to some heat, bro. It made me feel good, man. But hey, yo, Keystone, but look, if you had a human body, bro, but the head of an animal, what animal would you pick? That's the question.
Honestly, I would pick a lion, and I know that's pretty cliche, but I just feel like the lion has such a presence. You know what I mean? No matter where you're at, but the head of a lion, the hair, the maze, and all that stuff, it comes, and it's like a presence. It's like, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean? I'm here to stay, and you're going to feel me, and you're going to know me.
I had to really think about this one, but I'm gonna go with a jaguar.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're nice to look at. They still got that intimidating factor. You know what I'm saying? Like, like that shit. He looks tough, but I'm still not gonna fuck with him. It's like one of those type of vibes. You know what I mean? So I think that fits me. I feel like that fits me. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'll tell you that. They black as hell and scary as fuck to look at. Scary as hell, bro. I want those smoke, bro. I'm simple, man. I'm gonna go with the giraffe, man. I'm gonna go with the giraffe. My neck.
You have a long neck.
Bro, don't got to deal with none of that, man. Y'all underneath. Y'all do what y'all do. I'm up here, man. I don't want no trouble. We've all
Don't act like Jaguars and Lions. They eat you for fun. They eat those grass for fun.
If I swing my neck, it's over.
Nah. You're easy. That's easy money. Hey, three of us, 4 of us against you, bro. You not listen. That's dinner.
Nigga, don't let me drop.
Get out of here,
bro. If I spin it back hill, kick you to shit the giraffe. Oh my god.
You gonna kick 4 Jaguars? You gonna kick 4 Jaguars?
I'm gonna send you the other side of Africa on my mother. I'm gonna send you. All right, bro. Look, man. I was on Twitter and some recent things is happening. I thought that was huge. Huge for the sport. World of sports. One of the top basketball recruits, Makur, he recently committed to Howard. And essentially, they're trying to start this movement, and they're trying to change instead of committing to these big D1 universities that aren't HBCUs, and they're trying to transfer all that over to, and feed the programs within the Black community. Now, my question to you is, if all athletes started doing that, football, basketball, soccer, whatever the case is, how do you think that changes the entire aspect of NCAA?
That's a great question. I mean, me first and foremost, right? My job and how I'm going to feed my family, hopefully for the rest of my life, is going to be recruiting athletes, no matter where I'm located. Yep. Right? And we as Black men have a duty. We have to serve our community. No matter how you slice it and dice it, no matter where you're from, we have to serve our community. And what that looks like is you want to put the kid in the best situation possible. Right, so that's logos out of it. That's Ole Miss or Howard University. You take logos out of it and you say, I want to do what's best for that kid. Yeah. Now, me saying that, it's amazing to see top recruits go there to Howard, to Delaware State, to Bethune, to FAM, to Grambling. That's amazing to see. Yeah. Now, I don't work at those schools. I work at Ole Miss. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's my job to compete against them to try to get the kid to come to my university. So to answer your question, it's amazing to see, but I'm still going to recruit hard.
As you should.
Now if the kid is better off at Howard and he'll do better for his life and his future, then I'm going to be happily support him there. But I think you could take it a step further. I think universities like Ole Miss, like Alabama, we need to put those games on our schedule. Ole Miss needs to go play at Hampton. Needs to go play at Grambling. Now, granted, the score would change and it would be tough, but the payday will be so much better. True. You know what I mean? And now we may win, we may do that, but now you see if more kids start to go to those HBCUs, that score might be a little bit closer.
Got you. Hey, Jay, I mean that's kind of tough. Because it is in a tough position because it is a beautiful thing to see. But again, that don't put money. You're competing against these guys, so it's like a love-hate. So it's tough.
No doubt.
Tough. Jay, what do you think? How do you think it'll change? I guess the spectrum of college sports.
I think it's definitely going to change. It's definitely going to change everything. I love the idea of having our top recruits as far as basketball, starting to go to the black colleges because I like to see change, you know what I'm saying? And for a long time, the narrative has been, if you're a top recruit, you're going to go to one of these bigger schools, Kentucky, Duke, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool and everything. But I think as a community, I think we need to start just setting examples. These kids who are, who have all this attention, who have the cameras on them all the time, start setting an example, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is definitely a huge step for all of us as a whole. I just want to see some change. And like he said before, you know what I'm saying? Now that maybe, we might see a few athletes here and there going to these black schools, you know what I'm saying? Some of these games that we go into, Howard or Morehouse versus these bigger schools, you know what I'm saying? Games are going to be a little bit closer now. You know what I'm saying? People are going to compete. It's going to be something to watch. You feel me? So I'm all for this. I'm definitely all for this.
And now to say also, to go off the side to cut you off, John, but to go off that, it is. And just being realistic, it's much harder for a top athlete, no matter if he's black or white, to go to a HBCU over a big university for football than basketball. Mm-hmm. That's just realistic because you guys know football, it's it takes way more than one person to take over a football game. Now, running backs, you know, a good DN, a good safety can take over a game at the phases. But basketball, you know, that's the sport that really should be getting the ball rolling, you know, because if you got 2 5-stars, you got a good chance of going to the tournament.
Yeah, for sure.
Easy.
You know what I mean? You got 2 5-stars in football, you still not even there.
Yeah, it's like you need more.
So I think it also has a lot to do with what the sport is.
That's true. That's fair. So I'll say this. I think honestly, you know, with the change and just taking a narrative, you know, I think, you know, HBCUs are kind of looked down upon as far as like the sports aspect because they can't compete with the Bamas and they can't compete. But I'm just thinking as an aspect of that as change and stuff like that. Imagine taking Bama's sitting on the top 5 recruits in the nation for the last 3 years. There's only so much talent you can use. You understand what I'm saying? So if you take all that talent and put it on a Howard, a Hampton, or any, bro, I think TV deals. I think more TV deals start coming. I think there's a lot more money involved over there. I think it helps expand, and I think March Madness. I'm tired of seeing Duke in the Final Four. I'm gonna be honest. It's been the same shit 20 years. It's been the same shit 20 years. You know what I mean? And I want to really see if Coach K can really do it. It's cool. It's cool. You know what I mean? If Coach K, a lot of these guys, Coach Bobby, you know, all these guys, you know, it's easy to do when you got the top recruits. I'm not gonna take away from their coaching, but you know, when you got the top recruits, it makes everything you're doing a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why, and I truly believe this, and I'm coming from a different perspective.
Yeah.
It's an art to recruiting. You know what I mean? And people can say what they want. You know, I don't speak on if guys are cheating or not. That is not what I'm going to touch on. Yeah. But it's an art to recruiting, right? You got to think. So Coach Cal and Coach K, they're recruiting against each other every year.
That's true.
You know, Kentucky and Duke are recruiting against each other every year. If more kids do go to HBCUs and choose that route, you know, whoever's recruiting at other schools still has to recruit them.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing I'm scared of is I don't want it to become a Howard versus Morgan competition.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because then now you're taking from the MEAC. You're taking from the SWAC. We're fighting each other. You know what I mean? It really could hurt the HBCUs because now, all right, so the top kids start coming to Howard. Then Hampton's like, no, we the real HU. Come to us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the league will probably get better because you got more better players, but then you got guys fighting against each other.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the only thing that is tough. You know, it's a really fine line. But to answer your question, I love it. I love guys picking HBCU, and it's going to change. You know, that's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Because guys are starting to feel the pressure of, you know what? Why go to this school when I could go to a school that's an HBCU and bring them money and bring more revenue to them? So it's going to be interesting to see. But I'll tell y'all this: the school that I'm at Ole Miss. If I'm going against Hampton, if I'm going against a Bama or Howard, I'm going to do whatever I can to kick their ass to get the kid to come to Ole Miss.
End of the day, bro, I think in order for this to really impact and hit the country as a whole the way that it needs to, I think that when any top recruit goes to any black school, I think we should all look at it as a community, as a win, regardless of what school they go to.
No doubt.
At the end of the day, it is a W. You know what I'm saying?
This might be taking it a little different direction, but like, to be honest, you know, I'm really happy that, you know, at least the potential of the exploitation of athletes in general, whether color, you know, no matter if they're white, black, Spanish, whatever the case is, you know, but I believe, you know, Duke and the Kentuckys, they've been making thousands upon thousands of millions of dollars on these guys for years upon years. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of that money, as I was saying, that could go into the MEAC and expand to Hampton, like, and expand to Howard and Morgan State and Dell State. You know, so I think it's a lot of good from it, but I didn't take that in consideration. It could do a lot of bumping heads, and it could have some cons. I didn't think of that. You know, this is a little con. Myles Garrett recently actually just got an extension for $100 million guaranteed. Do you believe? Like, I guess I mean, do you? That's a win. I think, you know, good for him. I wish him the best. But Do you believe after the huge controversial event last year, and he's deserving? And how do you believe this will affect the Browns later down the line?
4 passes defensed, and now a sack.
Yeah, he'll be the AFC Defensive Player of the Week.
If you're giving it to him right now.
I am.
Here's a flag as
Hello.
Mason Rudolph got into
needs
it.
to get out of there.
I think what he did last year was wrong on every single level.
Okay.
I wasn't there, and we only have what was reported. If he was called that word, if Mason Rudolph took it to that level, me personally, I don't think you even go there. Now, you never can justify that using the N-word in that context. We all been in heated moments. We all been on the gridiron, and people going to talk trash. People going to do what they got to do. But you can't justify it. You can't justify it. It's wrong. But we cannot justify taking a helmet and hitting somebody in the head. We can't. You know what I mean? You can't. Whenever a fight breaks out in practice or anything happens, everybody know you keep your helmet on. If the helmet's off, it's over. The fight, that's how it stops. Once somebody's helmet get knocked off, it's over. Now, he is a very good football player.
Nuts.
He can pass rush. He can bend. You see videos of him dunking the basketball. He's 6'6", 275. He is a once-in-a-lifetime NFL talent. If we're talking talent, I think he should have got paid more than that.
Okay.
And the reason why is you look at the Browns roster is built behind Myles Garrett.
2018 in that Porsche Carrera. Yeah, about racks in a quarter ounce.
They as much as they tried to put it behind Baker hasn't made that step that we thought he was going to make. And now, granted, it was year 2. Mm-hmm. He got a big year 3 coming up. But I think that's ultimately going to help the Cleveland Browns. Myles Garrett said his apologies. He served his time. Everybody makes mistakes. He served his time. But going forward, I think that is going to help the Cleveland Browns, because now the Cleveland Browns are showing, hey, we're not going to just try to let our guys go. We're going to pay to try to keep our guys here and build with this young nucleus we have.
Mm-hmm. That's cool, too. That's cool.
I'm going to be honest. First of all, he really tried to take that boy's head off with that helmet. He was trying to end him. I'm not trying to make no joke out of this, but the man clearly was on a mission. I'm not sure exactly what he said, but I know it was something on the racial side. But I'm very surprised that he got that payday, because usually when you see stuff like that happen in sports, and at least I can speak for basketball, you know what I'm saying, when you kind of do anything that's kind of iffy or funny style, you know what I'm saying? The NBA, they're gonna do everything in their power to make sure that you don't get back on anybody's roster. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I'm shocked, but I definitely think that. But at the end of the day, though, it is the Browns. And let's be honest here. You know what I'm saying? They got a little better this past season. You see sparks here and there, but they need him. So I think at the end of the day, I think they probably sat there and like, oh well, shit. I mean, we can't really afford, to really, let him go. You know what I'm saying? Or get rid of him. You feel me? So we might as well just pay him and keep him. You know what I'm saying? So I think they kind of thought about it from that perspective, because if they lose him, that defense is just.
What Keith said, I do, but he's a top 10 talent in the league. He's easily top 5 DNs in the league for sure. No doubt. So talent-wise, I do think he deserves it hands down. Now, I'm with Jay on this. I didn't think he was getting $100 million guaranteed. I knew he was going to get paid. I thought they was going to, you dock his pay for the misbehavior that he had last year, the controversial. For people that don't know, for the audience, essentially what happened, Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph, they got into it. Myles Garrett claims he called him the N-word, and essentially he retaliated by taking his helmet off and literally trying to clean him. And I think he got him a little bit and ended up gave him a concussion. So for those of you who don't know the story, that's pretty much the ends of it. And they both were suspended for the season. And like you said, they both were dealt with. And I think he needs to come back. I just didn't believe this much money was going to him. Now, What's up?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh no, and I'm not gonna lie. I do think this actually may possibly hurt him. $100 million guaranteed. I believe it's like I think it's in a span of 5 years. So that first 3 years they could build. But I think because his deal was on the back end, I think he gets most of it. Those last 2 years, and I think those last 2 years is probably gonna affect him. Because OBJ payday is coming up. You got to give him his bread. You know what I'm saying? Baker Mayfield, I think he's got a year or two left after his rookie contract. You know what I'm saying? So it's people that gotta get paid. That I can see the Browns down the line possibly having issues. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm very happy that he got his money. He is deserving.
From first, Jay, to address your first point, have you guys ever heard of the Malice in the Palace?
Yeah, but Ron Artest, yeah.
Right. So that when that happened, and the fan was wrong. The fan threw beer and hit a NBA player. The fan basically took his ability from being a fan and turned himself into a on the court player. That's a problem.
Yep.
So we had players from the logo knocking dudes out.
Sure.
Steven Jackson knocking dudes out. Yep. Ben Wallace, I'm talking about. It wasn't like it was dudes getting dropped. One hook, they're going to sleep.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
All those players served their time and got a contract.
That's true. Yeah.
Right? And we saw the guys they was knocking out. They was 5'10". One guy was probably 5'10", 240 because he was a little chubby. But pro athletes, and we all know them, are different type of specimens.
No,
yeah. They're different, whether it's basketball, football, baseball.
Different.
Myles Garrett, what he did was wrong. That like if that was in the street, he could go to jail.
Yeah.
He could flat out go to jail.
Yeah.
But he did serve his time. It was with the NFL, the NFLPA. They agreed on, the NFL and the NFLPA could have banned him.
For sure. Yeah.
Right? But it just goes to show you whether right, wrong, or different, those professional sports, those sports that we pay cable and we pay streaming services to watch, is in the talent acquisition business.
Yeah.
Hitting females is not okay. Killing people, robbing people, anything that's criminal activity is not okay. We don't condone it. But we know that Myles Garrett is a generational talent, and he will bring in money.
Yeah.
He's 24 years old with 100 tackles and 30 sacks.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Nuts. Those numbers are Hall of Fame like numbers.
Yeah.
He played 10 more years. He's going to have 120 sacks with 500 tackles.
That's insane. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
It really makes you think from a different perspective, and it shows you how valuable the top talent is to the NFL, to the NBA. And that, so many people, and I'm just learning this myself, so many people put their emotions before the talent.
Yep.
And it's messed up to say. People hate it. People that aren't true sports fans really don't believe in it. And there is a right and wrong, but those guys are what we pay to see, and we want to see the best.
I don't think emotions and money ever mix.
Never.
I think never. But I think, the common, that's a lot easier said than done. I do think a lot of people, it's hard. It's hard, especially with that kind of topic and that kind of, it's very controversial. So I can see how emotions and stuff get tied in, but I agree. I agree entirely. That's you had a pretty successful collegiate high school, athletic career, and still going to this day. You would say. Now, how do you think you maintained your focus and humbleness throughout all your success, essentially, before transitioning into a coach? So, just as an athlete, how did you think?
Yeah, I mean, it honestly started when I was young. Playing for Irvington Golden Knights, playing for East Orange Wildcats, learning how to win, learning what to do to win, winning championships. That's why I think it's really important. If I'm blessed to ever have a kid, he will play multiple sports if he wants to. If he wants to go play a piano, he's going to play a piano and learn how to sing. If he wants to go do something else, he's going to be very versatile in everything he does. But I come from humble beginnings. I mean, my pops, my family, my upbringing. We didn't have much, and we had to find out and figure out a way to make it done and make it happen. I was blessed to go to public school when I was young, then go to private school for high schools, 2 private schools. And those coaches, Rich Hansen and Chris Partridge, taught me so many lessons. I knew that I was going to be able to play well and make plays, because of my teammates around me. But winning games and not losing a lot of them helped me to realize what it takes to win and keep my humility.
How would you say between all that, you know, because you transferring in between schools and you maintaining not only your humbleness through athletic, you know, because you had a lot of success athletically, but people don't know, you know, contrary to belief, academically you're pretty solid as well too.
No doubt.
And
no doubt.
You know, like just balancing that, how you know, just for people out there, like how do you think you stayed focused?
I mean, honestly, the best advice that I could give anybody about, first of all, academically, is every time after school, people would come home, and my mom Dukes would be like, "What you got for homework?"
Yeah.
And like it was like, I don't know what it is, but my mom was like, "Did you do your homework? What you got for homework?" And I will always say, "I don't got no homework." I just. I
You just always.
Right? I don't got no homework. They ain't give me no homework today. And when I realized that, like, the homework is the key to passing classes, you know, so I started, to be honest with you, taking advantage of the two cover schools I went to. We had free periods, so I would go to the gym and just knock out all my homework. And I took it like, it's got to the point where I took pride in doing my homework, which sounds corny because I'm not a good test taker. You know, I'm not a great quiz guy, but I would just try to do all my homework, and then just that helped me propel in class. But as far as how the space would transition, at both high schools that I was at, I was put in leadership roles. So at prep, I was a young captain before I left. At PC, I was a captain in my first month there. So me being in a leadership role and having all eyes on me off and on the field allowed me to, you know what, hey, this is how we're going to do business. If you disagree, let's talk about it, and then let's try to make sure we come to a common ground to make sure it's done the right way. And that will always translate to the field if you do things the right way off the field.
And I mean, obviously, you know, with all eyes on you, it's only so much you can do wrong if you wanted to.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that's nuts, man. That's nuts.
I wasn't no good test taker either, academically in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, in general, it was a struggle from high school to the end of college. Thank God I graduated on time. But
there you go.
But brother, let me tell you something. I had to do the bare. My goal was always just to get the bare minimum, bro. If I can get the bare minimum, I knew I can get that. I can get that degree. To all the viewers, I don't care what grade you're in. I don't care. I don't give a damn. Okay, C's get degrees. I promise you that.
Set, ready, go now. Right. Let's go. Right. Let's go. Right. Let's go.
That's it.
Hey, Jerry, you want to know what the difference is between a doctor with a 2.9 GPA and a doctor with a 3.9?
What?
Nothing. They're still a fucking doctor.
Hey.
It's all good, man. It's all good, bro. But Keys, man, you know what I mean? Being a very successful high school and collegiate athlete, as we just stated, how has that helped, like, shifting, essentially, like, what helped you shift your mindset to completely coaching? Because anyone who's ever played, it's night and day, you know, understanding the game and playing it and understanding the IQ and stuff like that, reading coverages and know how to do stuff. It always helps, but now you're a coach, so now you're actually competing these and stuff like that, and you're helping develop kids. So how has that changed? You know, how's that help your mindset?
No doubt. So all my life, I wanted to be a coach, whether it was high school, college, or pro, because the coaches that I had was the coaches that was making us do things, and the guys we listened to, honestly, the guys we looked up to. You know, my youth coaches was cool as hell. You know, they was 28 years old, and they was regular people that we saw every day. Yep. You know, they had a regular job, then 5:30 they come from that regular job to practice. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Some of them had motorcycles. Some of them you'll see in the community and things like that, playing basketball with us. They was cool. So during my high school recruitment, every school that recruited me and offered me, I had small FCS schools, big FCS schools and small FBS schools. I asked them, like, hey, when I'm done playing, I don't want to go to the league. I don't want to play after college. I want to start coaching right away. So it had always been my plan to coach. And I'm not one of those guys who I made it to the pros or I didn't make it, and now I just want to coach. I went into college saying, hey, when I'm done playing, I'm done, and I want to coach right away. And what has helped me is during my college career, I would spend time extra learning why we're doing this, asking why we're doing this, because of me wanting to be a coach and to be a better player. Understanding how we're getting attacked and why we're getting attacked. So it has translated perfectly. Playing D1 football right to coaching has translated perfectly. And some of those same habits I have and had when I was playing, I try to translate to coaching, in my work ethic and how I do things and making sure I do things the right way, paying attention to detail. Those things, have worked out well for me so far in my coaching career.
So, I mean, I think it's safe to say, you shouldn't never assume, but I think it's safe to say from what you just previously stated, essentially, so your coaches before helped you motivate to become a coach, or did you know you wanted to become a coach before those guys?
I mean, definitely my youth coaches motivated me to want to become a coach.
Okay.
And I would be foolish if I say they didn't help and shape and mold the coach that I am and trying to strive to be today. So no doubt, every coach I had, Chris Partridge, Rich Hansen, those Hakeem Hayden, those guys shaped and molded me to who I am now and who I'm going to continue to be.
Man, people don't know, once upon a time, you coached at Rutgers. You coached local. You were Jersey born and raised, and you were coaching at Rutgers at one point, and now essentially you're switching to a completely different division. Now, I don't want to cause any rifts here, but, the great debate is, the huge difference between Big Ten and SEC. The huge debate is essentially Big Ten is a better division, but SEC has the two top dogs that'll pretty much beat everyone in Big Ten. I think that's general consensus. Now, you having a taste of both, essentially, what would you say? Which one would you say is the better division, or what? Let me ask you this: what are the biggest differences in the division that you see?
Flat out. I mean, so I have not seen an SEC game live yet.
Okay.
But I've seen the players. I've seen the players both work out. I've seen them both move. I think the coaching in the Big Ten and the SEC is great. I think I will stand on the table and say the best coaches are in this conference. It's kind of weird that I think when the D3 school I was at and the Big Ten and SEC has the greatest coaches that I've ever been around.
Really? Okay.
Now, from looking at the Big Ten, I think the Big Ten has O-linemen for days. I think they have big, long guys that can move. Now the SEC has big, long guys, but I personally don't think they're as good as the Big Ten O-linemen.
Okay.
The SEC skills, I think, is amazing.
Superior. They're a little superior.
I do not think they're a better SEC skill, better Big Ten has better skill than the SEC.
Okay.
Now defense, you could pick and choose. I think the outside backers in the SEC is better, but I think the D linemen in the Big Ten, now the Big Ten got some DNs, but see the interior D linemen in the SEC is different.
That's true.
But if we want to talk facts, the SEC for the last 14 years has had the most draft picks. That's a fact.
I mean, like you said, so you haven't, as of late, the COVID and, the situation's kind of nuts. But what would you say is essentially the biggest culture shock to you? Like, what's the biggest rift from Big Ten to, what I'm saying? Like, what's the, at least that you've experienced?
So when I was in the Big Ten, majority of the schools in there, besides the Ohio States, besides the Michigan, they have a footprint in recruiting.
True. Okay.
Right? So a Rutgers kid, right, you're going to get some kids who are from Union. You'll get some kids from Camden. You might get a little kids from DMV. The biggest standout for me was those kids that need college football, that don't come from much. When they're from the hood or they're from a less privileged situation, they go back to, drugs, gangs, and things like that.
Yeah.
That's what it is kind of up north from what I'm seeing. And it's not all the kids, but it's some of the kids. Down here, it's not really a gang situation. It's not really corner stores and stuff like that. It's really low, poor, one-room shack type deals.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's really,
we have one kid on the team who, without college football, he won't be able to feed his family. Without his cost of attendance checks, his scholarship checks that we give them, he legit comes from a one-room shack and has to run an extension cord to the gas station for electricity for his house.
That's crazy.
You know, and that's just the privilege aspect and the difference that I've seen. You know, and granted, that's a blessing. That's why I want to have college football so bad. People don't understand it's bigger than just, hey, we're going to make millions of dollars, fill these stadiums and score touchdowns.
Yeah.
You know, and granted, kids do deserve more. I personally think kids should get paid for their likeness and their image, which the NCAA is working on. But some of these kids down here, especially in Mississippi, they come from nothing. Because Big Ten has kids who come from nothing too.
Yeah.
Just down here, coming from nothing means you have holes in the ground when you walk.
Yeah.
You know, these kids are extremely hungry, and they only see NFL.
Okay.
Hey, man, those underdog stories are the most inspiring, bro.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Nothing makes me more happy than hearing stories about these kids who come from nothing, whether it's from Newark or any of these low end places, bro.
No doubt. And they're all over.
I love it. I love to see it. Always.
Yep. And it's crazy. People outsiders outside of house football, like college kids, they get paid, but what people want them to really get paid for is the name on the back of their jersey.
Yeah.
You know, they get a cut of the scholarship check. They get scholarship checks to pay their rent, to get food, if you see, you know, Trevor Lawrence just got married. You know, you see college players, they come to school, they got chains, they got cars, they get tatted up, which is great. But you as some kids who literally by playing college football, that is them feeding their families.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they should have been getting paid a long time ago, man. Because these
no
kids,
doubt.
the same way, no matter what sport it is, they're out there putting their bodies on the line, man.
Absolutely.
You know so
Absolutely.
they definitely deserve that money. Most definitely.
It's exploitation again, bro. Like, look, don't get me wrong. If they made a couple thousand a year, okay, I get it. You know, it might not be enough. Bro, these schools make billions. And that's a season. You know what I mean? Like a season. And this has been going on for, you know, like this is so
very long time.
And so, you know, I definitely believe I've been an advocate for them getting paid. But as you said, very excited about that. NCAA is working on that, and hopefully they come through with a really good plan. Because I mean, it's about time. That's been a change that needs to happen. When it's all said and done, you know, what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for somebody that loved his family, took care of his family, was a great coach, but an even better person, reliable, somebody that I could count on. You know, no matter if I'm coaching Pee Wee football or I become the greatest college coach of all time, I just want to be remembered as somebody who was loyal, who loved, who cared about people with great character.
Following your footsteps, or people that want to become coaches and stuff from inner cities, from everywhere. You know, anyone who's following your footsteps and has been seeing your journey. What advice would you have for them? For any aspiring coaches or aspiring recruiters, or anything like that? What advice would you give them?
First thing, everybody says find a mentor. I would say find somebody with like-minded thoughts first. You know, somebody that is either past you or, you know, believe in the same beliefs you have before you go find a mentor. You find a mentor that may not have the same beliefs as you. Then I would say make sure you have a plan. You know, not where you want to be, but how you want to get there. You know what I'm saying? So say, hey, this is the path I need to take to where I need to get to. Because when you worry about where you want to be, you know, you forget how to get there. All those steps that it takes to get there. And then honestly, I would say study. You know, watch other people, how they move. Watch how other people operate. Watch how, honestly, it's a difference between black and white coaches. See how black coaches move. See how white coaches move. See how the best coaches in this business, how they got to where they got to. You know, and always, always, always stay humble. No matter what job you get, no matter what opportunity you get, no matter how much money you make or don't make, stay humble, because in a snap of an eye, you can go from being a head coach to the best college team to fired and not having a job.
Very true.
That's a very realistic thing in football in general, in sports in general, because of the talent-driven business we're in, because of wins determining if you're going to get more or less money. You know, always remain humble, because you can lose a job and gain a job like the blink of an eye. So that's what I would give to a young, inspiring coach.
Bro, bask in the moment and make every moment count and always be prepared. That's kind of the preparation and opportunities, equals success. That's what I was told at prep. Preparation and opportunity equals success, man. So
no doubt.
That's great advice, bro. Any closing remarks, bro? Anyone give it up?
Yeah. Real quick. I want to thank you for coming on the show. Any guest that we can get that agrees to be on here is a big deal for us. So I appreciate you for coming on. I hope everyone loves this episode. I feel like they're gonna like this episode, especially this take on the music. Honestly, you really, my mind's all over the place right now. I'm trying to keep my cool, but I'm glad that we were able to talk about some serious topics on here, some things that obviously need to be talked about right now. So I just want to thank you, man, and I appreciate it very much.
Hey, fellas, and going off that, I appreciate y'all. And like I said, I've done literally in my 25 years of living, I've done so many of these podcasts and different interviews, but from an organized standpoint, from acquiring it, doing things right, you guys are on your way, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And it was really good, well done, well organized, and I really personally believe that Temporary Fix is going to be a really, really good podcast. Thank you guys for having me on.
Appreciate it.
Brother, I appreciate you. You know what I mean? This ain't me just saying brother. Like, we really family. I mean, you taught me a lot. I really do appreciate you for coming on because I know, a lot of people may not, but I know how busy you are. I know a lot of stuff in your schedule. So I can't express enough how much this means to us. Thank you. I really do. You're welcome anytime. Welcome, come back anytime.
Exactly.
Appreciate you complimenting the show as well, man. But, thank you for everyone who's tuning in. Thank you for everyone who's been supporting us since we started. We're growing day by day, and that's all it is. We just got to keep progressing. We got to keep staying positive. And, look, you know the deal, man. Follow the innovators, not the imitators. Okay. Some more blessings, man.
Hey, guys, what's going on, man? It's your boy, Jay. Real quick, I just want to thank you guys for tuning into the Temporary Fix podcast with your host, me, Woods, and Ram. And we hope you enjoyed yourself and you tune in next week for new content. If you guys want to keep in touch with what we got going on and stay updated, hit the link below to get to our website. Peace.